Okay, so today I am coming to you guys with the word from Matthew's chapter 5, verses 44, right? And so it says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And so I read that a couple of months ago, like say a month ago. And when I first read that, at that time my heart was really hard. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Not at all. And so, over these last couple of months, I have been going down the path of healing, and I've come to realize that my heart has been hardened. And so, when I read that for the first time, I would I wouldn't have done it. But now, after some time and after some healing, I understand where they're coming from, and I have this feeling that I have to share with you guys. Okay. And so I'm going to bring to you guys an example. And so the example is, have you ever watched a movie and the villain comes on and you're like, "Oh, boo. That villain, he's bad. He wants to harm people. He's not nice, And you think, "Oh, boo. Forget that villain." And then you learn the backstory of that villain and you decide, "Okay, I can see why he done some of the things that he's done." You have that sympathy for him, right? Because now you know his backstory. You know that he was, as we all are, a child who had inhibitions and had all this pure heart. And as life went on, he's had these experiences that has hardened his heart. And so because you're able to see this whole story because of the movie or the show, your perspective changes on that villain. You no longer hate that villain, but you feel sympathy. You feel like you want to love that villain, give him some love so that his heart receives love instead of the hate that he has in the past, right? And so my example is Klaus. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the originals, but Klaus, when he first came on the Vampire Diaries, I didn't particularly like him. I thought that he was a bad guy and that the other ones were good, right? And later on, you find out in the originals his story and why he is the way that he is, right? And after I found out the way that he is and why he's the way that he is, my opinion changed. I no longer was, excuse me, I no longer had this hatred for Klaus, or he was a movie star, so it's not a hatred, but I no longer had this resentment towards him. I had the feeling of, man, if he just had some love, if I could just reach through this TV and give him love, why not do that to people in real life? That's what he's saying. Pray for those who persecute you because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know the reason that their hearts are hardened. How about you give that anger that you have towards them, which is not going to do you any good? Only thing it's doing for you is hardening your heart, which makes you hurt other people. And give that to God. Why not do that? Right? And so after doing some deep diving into me, I realized that at some point you're going to be a villain in someone else's life. In someone else's story, you're going to be a villain. Not in everybody's. Some people love you, some people hate you, some people dislike you, some people like you. But in everyone's story, you are a villain. Not everyone's, but in someone's story, you are a villain. And would you not want that person to pray for you? Sorry. Would you not want that person to pray for you instead of curse you to God? Would you not want them to ask that you get the healing that you need? How can you expect for God to love and forgive you if you can't do it for others? And that's what you should take from that, right? Is that you don't know everybody's story. You don't know why they're doing the things that they're doing. You don't know why they think what they're doing is right. Take a moment and try to understand, because we're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all have experiences that other people do not know about. And so, what I want you guys to do is, if you have an enemy, if you have somebody that you are holding hurt for, pray for them. And I don't mean pray like, oh, God, I forgive them. So can you just like take them out of my life? No, I mean actually pray for them. Pray for them that their heart gets softened, that He takes that heart of stone and He turns it into a heart of flesh, which it started off being. Because we don't know what anybody else is going through, but we know what we can do. And that's the word.